Traders, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're well. 2nd of July. We're doing sensibly this side here. Before we get started, the information we'll be discussing in this video is opinion and should not be construed as advice in any way. Well, let's get going. It is the NFP today. We know that the 4th of July is coming up on Saturday, and they've moved the NFP report one day earlier. So as to avoid any hiccups, any glitches, and also in connection with the report, the market could be a bit thinner there. And so they're avoiding any of that, and by bringing out that US NFP report early on. Now, the main event, obviously, as mentioned, everything's taking a back seat at this moment in time until those numbers come out, because they'll shape a lot of the and assist the expectations around the Fed's next move. And so the US dollar is still holding firm with the 10-year yield around 4.48%. A lot of the private hiring there came in softer. The inflation expectations continue to ease, but markets are still pricing in a decent chance of a September rate hike. And so today's NFP hopefully is pretty simple. They're either strong job numbers or weak job numbers, and we'll have to assess and see what the move does. The Aussie this morning here remains under pressure after the weak trade data and fading RBA hike expectations. That's the Reserve Bank of Australia. And we're seeing it really just moving in a consolidated kind of format here, really just bouncing off one clean support area, roughly around the 68 cents or 68.856 to the US. And so it's going to be important then for us to see if it moves away from the support. It has been, tracking and obviously touching there, many times, obviously bouncing up once and twice and maybe 3 or 4 times here, but then coming back into the range. So we'll have to see what happens at this zone. That's what we're looking for it to break above, actually. All right, is to break above not only this area here, but breaking through those zones as well. Also, we'll have a look and monitor that. The yen here against the dollar is still weak. The interventions risk is always in the background, but the interest rate gaps continue to favor the dollar. And we're seeing, obviously a bit of a move to the downside, but that doesn't mean that, the dollar is weak at this moment. This is a technical correction that's happened here now. And we'll have to wait and see if it continues with that report and goes further down to the 160. If that does happen and we get a weaker US report there, we'll definitely be in here waiting and loading for a position. And so that rate gap there continues, the interest rate gap to favor the dollar at this point in time. The gold price, has recovered, but today's NFP, will likely decide whether that move continues or stalls. It's really just finding some form of, has found a bit of consolidation. When I say recovered, we had a bit of a move to the upside there from previous lows, and we'll see if this gets sustained, if we continue, or if the NFP drives this number down roughly to the $3,970 per ounce. The oil price today here, traders, we're sitting at $70 a barrel. Nothing new here, nothing new here. We are waiting to see what happens moving forward. All right. When it comes to the supply here, it has improved on the oil side, and the geopolitical tension continue to ease. It's helping keep all those inflation expectations in check. I see you there, King. Trendsphere, I see you there. Good morning. Good morning. Join us at 2. All right, guys. We'll be in the trading room, myself and T, streaming the NFP. And then finally, guys, the US stocks here are fairly quiet. The traders are sitting on their hands at this point, waiting for the NFP before committing to the next move. So we're going to wait and see how this comes in. It's also really just consolidating at this point. The bottom line then is really simple here today. Today's job report sets the tone. We're going to watch the numbers, and we're going to watch the yields, and going to let the market tell you the story. Watch that US 10-year yield today with the NFP, or it's going to be a very important one for you to check. All right. But again, we're waiting for it to happen, and then we'll take it from there. Join us at 2 o'clock. Myself and T will be streaming live. All right. Have a good one. See you guys in the stream. It's Ashley Reeve here. I'm checking out. And remember, if you've not opened that account, www.tdmarkets.com. And if you are already, a TD family member, or you'd like to inquire, you can reach out to our support team there at care@tdmarkets.com. See you guys later, 2 o'clock via YouTube. See you. Ciao, ciao.